Hey everybody, this is Talkative Carl back again for another TV show, or at least I want to say about TV show review. Another review of episode 4 that dropped today of the Hawkeye TV series. And this is like, as the past 4 episodes has been all the episodes have been really good. I think after the last episode, things were kind of turned up a notch as far as the action and like the crazy trick arrows and all this other stuff. It was by far like really good, easily part easily the favorite episode, but it's like really neck and neck with the pilot. But this one seems like it's slowing down a little bit, getting our bearings and everything. And I just want to cut to the chase because it's kind of like the biggest moment. It kind of makes you appreciate the fact that if you saw the Black Widow movie, you appreciate what happened in this episode. Yelena Belova finally enters the fray towards the third act of the episode. Attacking Clint when you think it's like somehow Echo's fighting Kate, while you hear over her intercom that Clinton's getting attacked. You think like, oh, she got some thugs on the other side. She getting a drop on them somehow, but like no, it's just one person. And like it took me a good minute to realize, because as soon as like she did exact, because she was like got this whole big old spy Splinter Cell face mask going on. As soon as she started doing those zappy zaps, it's like it then dawned on me like, wait a minute. And then the mask went off, and then you get to see Yelena. She didn't say nothing, which I guess is okay, but I like to hear her speak. She is hilarious. She's my favorite part of Black Widow, the Black Widow movie, by far. She's amazing. But obviously, if you've seen the post-credit scene of Black Widow, Elaine Bennis. I know she's not Elaine Bennis. She's called Contesta Von something or other. But if you ever watch Seinfeld, like it's just Elaine. I'm just gonna call her Elaine because that's how I remember her. Or Julie Louis-Dreyfus. Hired her, or at least put the blame on Natasha's death on Clint. And so that's why you see her finally, because we knew she was coming, but now she's here, at least a little bit. We'll probably get more of her in episode 5. We're 2 episodes away from wrapping up the series of Hawkeye. And so that's exciting. But like I said, the bulk of this movie is things are just slowing down a bit. After episode 3 ended, you expect at the beginning of this episode you'll see like Swords Master, Jack something, approaching Clint. You thinking like, oh, they recognize each other, considering the comics history. They do, but they don't play it that way. So they might just veer off, using the character, but they not like probably placating to the sorry. They're probably not placating to the the paint by numbers history of Hawkeye and Swordsman or Swordsmaster. So Kate come in saying like, oh, he's with me. Then Eleanor, Swordsman, Kate, and Clint just sitting out at the table. Kate's explaining like, yeah, he's my partner. We're not partners. Friends like, it was like a funny little moment. That the tit for tat these two do is just like right on the money. I love, I'm just loving. I'm loving Haley Steinfeld. Like it wasn't until like a week or two when I realized she was Spider Gwen and Into the Spider Verse movie, and it's like, and just she done a lot of voiceover work. It's very. I don't think I recall any version of. I mean, any movie she's been in. I'm pretty sure I've seen some, but I cannot recall any live movies that I've seen her in beyond this. But somebody told me she was in True Grit, and she was like a little girl at that time. And I haven't seen True Grit. Honestly, I've seen highlights or clips of it, but I haven't seen True Grit really. I think that was one of her one of the few first movies he did, and she was a little girl. She is beautiful, and I love her. Her facial expression is just like, it's just amazing. It's like it's a testament to her like acting chops, but it's just like it's just so cute the way she like does certain facial features. It's like when she frowns or like she perks up or just subtle things. It's just like God. It's just like maybe it's the cheeks. I think it's the cheeks that kind of accentuate like something or other, because like something about her is just like it's just very like intriguing and sweet, and it's just, and she seems like the kind of woman that like just a chill girl, not all like stereotypically girly. It's just like I can definitely see her drinking a Miller Lite at a bar, just kicking it, or at least kicking her feet off at home and sitting back and having a beer, watching like a basketball game. She seemed like she's just that chill type of girl, and not like a tomboy kind of thing, but it's like just one step away from that kind of situation. At least that's how I'm getting the vibe from Haley Steinfeld. She seemed like that much of just like a chill girl. I'm just loving her, so far. But but then it's like, if you watch my review of the Kate Bishop Kelly Thompson run, which by the way, go on, you can check it out on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/talkativecarl. Also check out my other channels, the links in the description, my Twitch, Twitter, and Patreon if you want to further support the channel. Yeah, I mean, Eleanor, I'm getting like heavy bad guy vibes from her right now, because not only Kate was trying to hack into her thing, and then they found out like from Clint's like investigation, her Kate's suspicion about Jack is right. Like he's like is running or helping the Tracksuit Mafia, because like it's pretty much his fingerprints is all over the doggone thing if you look deep enough. But you're also looking on Eleanor's computer, which she should have the only access to, and just the way she's make that slight subtle jab to Clint about like Black Widows, please leave my daughter out of this, and like you lost someone too, like Natasha, like it's just like that little jab right there. It's like not so subtle with that jab, about Natasha. And it's like, it's kind of one of those moments where you kind of believe that it'll be a nice twist where, Jack's actually a genuine good dude that's, actually infatuated with Kate's mom, and Kate's mom is actually the bad guy overall. Or at the bare minimum, you will believe that these two might be either in cahoots, but definitely Eleanor is definitely involved. That's for damn sure at this point. With just that line alone, and then with the whole thing with it's her computer that they found this information from that she only has access to. Of course, Kate breaks into it, but like by and large, she's the only one who's been using them the most. And you get to see the LARPers again because Clint needs all those trick arrows back because Shield usually are the ones that kind of make those things for him, but now Shield's kind of gone now. He got to use them pretty sparingly. So they found out like the LARPers. How did these LARPers keep finding Clint's stuff? Honestly, but with a little help from Clint's wife, played by Velma from Scooby Doo, she also seems like she probably used to work for Shield too, because like the fact that she's very fluent in German, the way she's trying to like be the lady in a chair for Clint, trying to help find some information, and you get a little bit more from her, which is cool. Like and it's not just like a doting housewife kind of situation. She knows her stuff, and she knows how to keep hunker down, hold the fort essentially. And so that was cool. I mean, I'd love to see these guys' interactions with these LARPers. Now, in the Matt Fractions Hawkeye run that I reviewed for the channel, so you can check that out as well if you haven't, if you want to be up to speed on what's going on, at least through that. These some of these LARPers, especially Grill, in a comic, live in the apartment that Clint lives in, but they don't play it like that here. And I'm curious to know if they actually gonna do the climactic, what do you call those, like seize the castle kind of moment, like they try to do in the comics. Hopefully, you'll get to see something like that, possibly at the final episode, where the Tracksuit Mafia and Echo try to storm, the building where, Clint and Kate are held up with these LARPers backing them up. I can definitely see that happening. Now that I'm thinking about it, because at that exact climactic thing in the comic, you need these, LARPers to get involved. And I'm worried about Grills, honestly. If you check out my review of the, Matt Fractions run, it doesn't end well for Grill. You just put it like that. But they might do something different in the show. What else? Crap, I'm blanking. What else? Oh, you definitely get to see like some cool moments between, like I mentioned in the previous video, that a lot of people give Hawkeye crap because like he's bland and it's like whatever like that. Dude's a badass, and the fact that you get to see him and Kate like just, he's supposed to have at this point Christmas movie night with his family, but he still has to take another day to deal with this Echo stuff. And so you see Kate handling a bunch of DVDs, and they trimming the tree and everything like that. And like Christmas DVDs, like like they're going to be watching like It's a Wonderful Life, which is something I'm going to be review and pretty soon for my channel. But you got like the Santa Claus, you got Die Hard, and you just like a bunch of Christmas classics right in hand. And the Santa Claus, ironically, is on Disney Plus, so you can easily check that out yourself too. But it's a cool moment where like Clint flicks a quarter, as you can see in the Matt Fractions run. He flicks a quarter and it bounces off one object and it hits the television to shut it off. And he's teaching like Kate how to do that, and it took her a few tries, but she like nails it. And it's like kind of like this, you gotta do like, and it's like flings it. I'm telling you, if like Hawkeye was like a true bad guy, he can easily be Bullseye. And honestly, he can utilize anything as a weapon if he ever wanted to. It doesn't have to be bows and arrows. This is just his weapon of choice. But he can aim. As you saw in like the episode where they met with Echo face to face, and he's sitting there, flinging arrows without even looking half the time and nailing those shots. He's really good. He can be a serious. If he wasn't so like a jokey character, he can easily be a serious threat. I mean, like, he's laid back and he's kind of jokey. I mean, he's serious when he wants to be. But if Hawkeye suddenly snapped one day, he can easily be Bullseye just as easily. I mean, like, it's insane what he can hit. But then, Hawkeye pretty much not so subtly comes clean with Kate figuring out like, yeah, he was the Ronin. And then him again, like, he's still like suffering from PTSD, and like, at least not, let's not forget that the trauma, with in Natasha's death is still haunting him. Pretty much, he's getting survivor's remorse kind of situation. Because the showrunners is pretty much placating to everybody's little criticism, thinking like, oh, Hawkeye should have died, not Black Widow. So now they kind of running with that and utilizing that, which is kind of smart. But I wasn't one of the camp I don't know. It's hard to say how I felt at that exact moment. It could have easily had gone either way. But I'm kind of satisfied with what they did in Endgame with having, Clint, because he already lost his family, and you want to see that resolution in him, because he's been doing this to try to get his family. That's the reason why Natasha brought him in when he didn't initially want to. Just the chance to bring everybody back. So you wanted him to see that they're back. You want him to hold his family, once more. And it sucks with Black Widow. We love Scarlett Johansson's at the role, but it's just like, the way it played out kind of makes sense. And it also makes sense with a story perspective for Clint, given the fact that, it's him who has to, go on, and carry on and be with his family for Natasha, because she did this for him. And it kind of be a disservice to her if he doesn't fulfill that. But, not a lot of people agree. And it's mostly those people that don't care for Clint like that, or at least think he's like bland or boring. So when it was like you get the moment when they're trying to like survey the apartment building where they well, I can't remember if they knew it was Echo's place or they were just like a prime suspect or something. But you see like a cool moment where Clint is trying to teach Kate, like, it's not about finding like the entries. The entries is always the easy part. We got to find the exit strategy. So if something hits the fan, you know how to get out, or at least know the places where you need to go to get out. So you need to find that before you do any kind of entry. And then while you're sitting there like going over this, of course, pure Kate fashion, she just like strolls right to the front door, and then she breaks in. You see her using the putty arrows to take down these alarms, which assuming it was like a silent alarm, but it turns out it's Echo's place, and that is like alarm for deaf people because it doesn't blare because you wouldn't hear it. So it just gives off like lights to signal like like a break-in. And then she found like pretty much like a hit list. It looked like a hit list because not only she found like some kind of Rolex that you never heard about before, but it's some kind of significance to Clint. that she found some kind of Rolex that she's gonna bring back to him, but she also found like this hit list of Clint, his wife, and his children, and wonder how she got that. But then you get the whole fight between Kate and Echo. Then you see like a fight between Echo and Yelena and Clint, and then like all of them end up fighting each other. But before that, Clint's shot out a grappling arrow, like a zip line, and Kate is trying to get to them. And there was a moment when during the whole scuffle, Kate gets knocked over to the side of the building, and then I don't know who attaches a wire to her. I don't know if it was Yelena or Clint. I cannot recall, but it's like Kate is safe. She's dangling on the side of the building, but then right at that moment, you get this, see like a flash, quick flashback between like this moment with Clint, holding Kate, and he's thinking of in the same kind of, almost the same position as he had with Natasha, and like different parallels where Kate is telling Clint like, pull me up, while he's remembering Nat telling him to like let her go. So an opposite effect where like Clint actually purposely let Kate go, cut the line, and so Kate can fall into like the safely into the Christmas lights below her, because he's trying to, things are getting really serious beyond what they initially thought. So he's just like, okay, we gotta get you out the fray, because like this is getting intense. They're not after you at this point, they're coming after me. But Kate ain't having none of that, so she comes back up, and that's where they see Yelena's face, and like Clint's telling her to like beat it, because somebody sent a Black Widow after me, so this is way serious, and you're out of your element at this point. So everything ends on that little somber note. So I'm curious to see what's going on with episode 5, that we get like a lot more. Obviously we got to get a lot more with Yelena, but will they these three actually have a conversation, and Yelena tells them both like, Contesta sent me. She told me that you killed Natasha, and it's probably be finally where Clint finally I don't know, gets it off his chest about what happened on Vormir, getting that soul stone, and he didn't want Nat to do what she did, but she wanted it. She kind of put in a position where he couldn't save her, so and she sacrificed herself in order to help get what they need in order to save everybody else in the world. I'm pretty sure they got I don't know, maybe either towards the end of the next episode, or it has to resolve that part by the last episode. But yeah, I mean, I'm digging this really, really much, and like the Loki series so far has been my favorite part of the phase 4 at this moment. But Hawkeye is creeping up to be the a good close second, because I'm loving every bit of this. But after Spider-Man No Way Home comes out next week, which I will be reviewing, like not because I'm going to see it. I got the 3 p.m. Thursday showing, but I won't do a spoiler review until Friday, the day after. So like I didn't want to do it right away, but a lot of people probably gonna wait at least till Friday to, some people gonna do like a full spoiler review of the film. So I'm probably at least wait until Friday afternoon to do one. So just look forward to that. And if you don't want to be spoiled about that, obviously don't click on it, because I'm gonna have it big bold letters like spoiler review, so you don't have to worry about anything until you're ready to hear it. But yeah, I'm excited for that. I'm gonna make it a whole thing. I'm gonna make it a whole day with just I'm gonna get like popcorn, standard popcorn and drink, but I'm getting like candy, I'm probably gonna have to bring some candy. Those candies freaking expensive, but I'm gonna buy those like cinnamon pretzel stick things, and just it's gonna be a whole thing for me. Damn COVID, I'm fully vaccinated, so damn COVID, I want to like immerse myself in this movie. So once that movie comes out, it's gonna beat everything, so far as like it'll be my number one, Loki number two, Hawkeye number three, top three best things so far in Phase 4 that I just love. So look forward to that. So yeah. Oh, and it's still some subtle Kingpin hints. It's obviously probably at the end of the series they're gonna reveal Vincent D'Onofrio as Kingpin, because Kevin Feige already announced that Charlie Cox's Daredevil is coming back, possibly in Spider-Man No Way Home will be his full debut, but in a cameo format. But he'll be there, and this one will probably be showing Kingpin, because obviously, Kingpin in the Matt Francesa comic has been shown, bits and pieces here and there, but in the Echo's origin, he was prominent in her, maybe not upbringing, but like hand in her, going after Daredevil, like being pretty much his right hand woman kind of situation. And I just found out, because I mentioned about last episode how like that little girl, that young Echo, looks so much similar to older Echo. That turns out to be the actress's younger cousin that played her. So that's why they look so similar. So I knew it was like, this is too much right on the money as far as like the cheekbones and the eyes is like so similar. So it's obviously they have to be really related. So yeah, just the 411 on that one. So yeah, I will see you guys next week for definitely next week for the episode 5 of the Hawkeye series. But in a little bit, I will be doing my new comic book review for this month, Batman Noel. Stay tuned for that. And then Friday, you'll have some new Christmas movie reviews. So look forward to those. So yeah, I will see you guys soon. Take care.